Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. I'm going to do a quick first cleaning on this Bodyguard 2.0 that I just got. This is going to be cleaning it from factory. It's never been fired by me, but it has of course been test fired at the factory. So I'm going to show you what it looks like in there and how to clean it. Some of the steps are repetitive, so I may actually kind of fast forward a little bit through certain things, but overall I'm going to show you the whole process. So first process, of course, is the most important one, is making sure it's unloaded. That's why I started with it locked back. Flip the lever down, pull back and release the slide, and then on the M&P series you do have to pull the trigger. This doesn't have the internal little lever that you can disengage, and of course there's no magazine in it, and there's no ammo anywhere in the vicinity of me. The table is clean. So I'm going to set the slide aside for the moment and focus on the frame. And you do see shiny stuff, so it does kind of look like it's oiled. But if I rub my finger against it, it doesn't really give me a nice oil residue, and it's a little bit sticky. And that's the difference. The stuff they put on it from the factory is meant to protect it against corrosion while it's sitting in a warehouse or a container. It's not meant to lubricate it for actual function. So I'm going to take I happen to use Outer's Nitro Solvent. Any reliable solvent will work. And I'm going to clean the internals of it by cleaning the rails. I'm going to basically clean the rails and everything that is a pivot point. And I can just do that by running it back and forth with my fingers. And you'll notice it looks like rust. That's not rust. That is the rust preventative material. And normal clean oil wouldn't look brown and rusty. They don't use Cosmoline anymore, but conceptually that's what this stuff is. It's something like Cosmoline. It's meant to prevent it from corroding, not meant to make it operate properly and smoothly. So a lot of times you'll get one of these new guns, especially these little ones that are tough to keep working properly as is, just from the mechanics of it, and people have problems with them out of the box, and then they break in. Well, sometimes it's because you didn't clean and oil it. So I've gotten rid of all of the factory nasty, and now I'm going to go ahead and work on the slide. Now I could reuse this patch, but I'm going to set it aside simply so that you can get an idea how dirty things get for the things that I do as I work my way through it. I'm going to set the barrel and the recoil spring aside. And in the slide, really what you're going to focus on is the groove that's in here. And it's going to be hard to get enough light on it because it's all black. And of course it's shiny. You can kind of see it there. That's the groove that those guides ride in. And you need that to be clean as well. So I'm going to take a patch, wet it up. This channel tool, probably not going to be able to get it where I'll show you the name. I'll put the name in the description. This channel tool is really helpful. It saves your fingernails, especially on these smaller guns. It's got two different size flat hooks on it, and you just use the one that is the appropriate size, and you see how much rust, which isn't rust, again, it's that Cosmoline type material, and then also quite a bit of residue from the factory having fired it is coming off on the patch. And I just go back and forth like that. I just pick a new spot on the patch and do that until I can go back and forth, and you see where I just was there, it's relatively clean. So then I'm going to move, I'll flip it around and work on the next spot. And again, just keep repeating that until it comes in relatively clean. So I'm getting cleaner as I work my way through it. This side was dirtier than the other side. Okay, so I finally came through pretty clean. You don't have to get it perfect, but what you're wanting to do is get all that residue out. So now I have got this, and of course the outers is a solvent, but it also leaves an oil residue, but I'm not going to use that as the lubricant, but I'll do that in the next step. And again, I could reuse this patch for the first cleaning of the barrel that I'm about to do, but again, I'm not going to, so you can see just how nasty things are. If you look in the barrel, maybe a little hard to see all that residue? That's from the test firing, so the barrel is not clean to start with. The manufacturer doesn't clean it after they test fire. You might find a custom manufacturer that's doing a hand-built gun for you that does that, but your mainstream manufacturers, all of them, you get it the way it looks after the test fire. So I'm going to take this patch, and I'm going to use it to clean the feed ramp, which isn't really much of a feed ramp on this. It is polished though, but it's a tiny little feed ramp. And then I'm going to use this is just a Glock cleaning rod, and if you get a Glock, you get one of these, and you get one with every Glock you get. So they're perfect for this type of thing. And I'm just going to push it through a couple of times. Why am I bothering to do that? Because I'm going to have to brush it. This didn't really clean it. It got all that residue out so that it can keep my brush as clean as possible for as long as possible. And this is a brush, it's got brass, the metal, the framework of it is brass, so it's softer than the barrel. So I can't damage my barrel or my chamber with this. And all I'm doing, and this barrel's so tiny and my hand just engulfs it, but all I'm doing is I'm going back and forth with the brush. But it's important to note I come all the way out before I go back in both directions. Otherwise the brush can bunch up and it can cause issues. Now, see this patch? See how dirty it was? Watch me push this through the barrel now. That's all that was in this barrel from the factory for the 5 rounds or whatever it is they test fired it with. I'll push that through a few times to get the majority of the bulk of it. And then I am going to use one clean one to go through it. And it won't come out perfect again. You could spend a lot of time trying to get it absolutely 100% perfect. But now if I show you the internal of this barrel, now of course it's shiny because the solvent is there, but it's nice and clean. There's no residue, there's no buildup, there's no chunky stuff. The rifling is nice and clean. So this barrel is ready to go. And the only other thing you can do is, and I did this real quickly, but I didn't show it to you, is wipe off the outer part of the barrel, and this hook here, the easiest way to do that is to just bunch it up a little bit and then pull it down and through and clean that out. So now the gun is completely clean. I'm going to close the solvent because Murphy's Law says that I'll bump it and dump it over. Push the cleaning rods and stuff out of the way. I'm going to keep this channel tool because I'll need it for it in a second. And of course you're doing this in a well-ventilated area away from pets and kids and things like that. I mean, it is chemicals and solvent. You might have wondered why I had 2 paper towels. One was to put the dirty stuff on, and the other is to wipe my hands off periodically. You could wear gloves. I find that gloves get in my way, and the solvent that I'm using is designed to be, it's obviously not designed to drink it or anything, but it's designed to be safe against your skin. I haven't any problems with it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to oil this, and I use this Super Lube, which has got a Teflon base, and I'm going to put a drop in this channel, and I'm going to do 3 drops. So I'm just going to put 1 drop in, move down the channel, flip it over. Depending on the size of the gun, you may need more drops. And then I'm going to take this channel tool and just run it back and forth to spread the oil. And that's all I should need to oil on here. Sometimes if you've got a 1911 or something like that, there's other components up in here you oil. And then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to kind of give it a quick wipe to get most of the residue of the solvent off. And then I'm going to run oil down the length of these. Give it a wipe with my hand. I'm going to take my oily finger and just wipe it across the fire control group, but you do not want to put oil in there. I'm just basically, when I wipe it across, I don't even want to use this as a pointer, I catch this top part of the sear. And you also want to put a drop of oil on here because this is where it pivots. So now I've got it slightly oiled, and this is actually oil. It's intended to lubricate. The barrel, run a strip of oil down it. This just helps improve the wear of so I did that on the outside, and that improves the wear of the finish. And I'm going to put a drop in here, 1 drop in there because that's the primary pivot point. Notice I'm putting no oil in the chamber or inside the barrel. You want to keep the actual barrel and chamber nice and clean. No oil in there. Put this back together. So what I did is I slid the barrel in. Oh, you notice I didn't clean or oil the spring. These are a little difficult to clean and oil. I only do this during a deep cleaning. So the spring I just kind of leave as is, and I'll clean it and oil it during a deep cleaning. Slide the gun back together, lock it back, flip the lever up, function check it, it's working. And then usually what I do is I just take my hands, because my hands are a little bit oily, and I kind of wipe any residue off the slide. That spreads it around. It gives the slide a bit of a finish. If the grooves get messed up, you can kind of do this, or you can use a patch. But this seems to work very well for putting a nice shine on it, and gives it a bit of an oil protection, but not goopy oil. It's not dripping with oil. And now the gun is ready to go. And I've given this gun the best chance I can possibly give it of being reliable. And I do this with every new gun I get. Even if I get a used gun, I'll do this. And even if I borrow a gun, I will clean it and oil it like this before I shoot it. And then if I borrowed one, of course, I'll clean it and oil it before I give it back. But the key is keeping these things cleaned and oiled and not relying on the protectant that came with it, assuming that it's actually a lubricant. So I went to clean the next thing that I've got that I'm going to do a review on. I'm not going to tell you what this is yet, because I got an upcoming video. It's kind of a surprise. But what I want to show you is this one is factory out of the box, just the way I got it, and it's bone dry. There is no lubrication or anything else on this. There's a little bit on this where I started to clean it before I realized that. So not only do guns come with protectant only, that's not really a good lubricant, sometimes they come from the factory with none of the above. And if I try to take this thing out bone dry, I'd actually start to put some undesired wear on it. So another reason why it's important to clean and oil. Hopefully that was helpful. Beyond that, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, click that bell up there to be notified. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Player, Rumble. We're pretty much everywhere. And thank you.